Hello and welcome to the BeefCake Challenge book tag. I was tagged by Kevin at Kevin Toll Reads. Kevin was tagged by Pat from Book Chat with Pat. And Pat was tagged by Debs at Rainer Reads Stuff and Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads. The prompts. Number 1. What are the 10 biggest books on your TBR for the next year? So in this case, 2025. Here are the 10 books I'll be reading and mentioning in this video. And no, I cannot lift them, so they're way too heavy for me to lift. Prompt number 5, and yes, I am jumping ahead, is do you even lift books, bro? And you're supposed to lift your stack, which sadly, no, I cannot. I'll pull them up one at a time as I quick talk about them, but I cannot lift a whole group of them. That's the whole back dealio. What are the 10 biggest books? I could have made this super easy because I am starting to reread the Wheel of Time series. This is the first 3 books, but for this, I'm just including The Eye of the World, which comes in at 891 pages. Very much looking forward to rereading it, and I've already started a little bit on that one. Second book is Study Bible. This is the New Student Bible Testament. It's a revised version. Copyright is 1990. I know because I just had this in another video. This comes in at 1,357 pages. As the name says, Study Bible, it is a study book. Gods of the New Millennium. This has been waiting since 2023. I've read a bit of it, but I'm going to include it here because I need to finish it. This is by Alan Alford. It has to do with the Anunnaki. It also deals with the Bible and interpretations, and his commentary on the Earth Chronicles, a 6-volume series by Zechariah Sitchin. This comes in at 591 pages, and yes, I probably will at this point end up having to start from the beginning again because it's been over a year since I picked this up. Dune by Frank Herbert. I'm hoping to start this sometime after April. It may be a buddy read. It may turn into a group read. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested in joining. A number of us have been talking about wanting to read it. We just haven't got there. I was hoping to read it last year, but book events, life, and too many other things came up first. This comes in at 884 pages of Drawing Down the Moon, Witches, Druids, Goddess Worshippers, and Other Pagans in America. This is by Margot Adler. This will be a reread for me. I had a copy a number of years ago that I had read. I sadly unhauled it, picked it up again during one of my book hauls this past year. And this will tie in perfectly this year because I'm getting into a big project delving into mostly green craft, but I will be looking at Wicca and other forms of paganism as well. And I know this book was an excellent resource. The Book of Signs. This is by Dr. David Jeremiah. Oh, I didn't say it. Drawing Down the Moon comes in at 460 pages. The Book of Signs comes in at 463. This is 31 Undeniable Prophecies of the Apocalypse. I figured it'd be a good year to read it. The next 2 are Graham Hancock books. These tie into my Da Vinci Code spiral, Fingerprints of the Gods, The Evidence of Earth's Lost Civilization. That comes in at 505 pages. It will be a reread. It's been at least 10 years or so since I've read it. And then Magicians of the Gods, sequel to the international bestseller, Fingerprints of the Gods. I just, by luck, found this during a thrift store shop. I didn't know there was a sequel, and I hadn't come across this title before. So, yes, I am very happy that I picked this up for $4.50. That's an awesome find. That comes in at 444 pages. As I've mentioned, I'm going to be trying to make a dent into my Da Vinci Code spiral. Yes, I'll be reading the code again. I think this will be my third read through it. This is by Dan Brown. It comes in at 454 pages. So I have a few books that tie in with that spiral. And book number 10, which is the big honker and why I couldn't lift the pile. This is by Hans Holzer. It's called Ghosts, True Encounters with the World Beyond, Haunted Places, Haunted Houses, Haunted People. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Ghosts comes in at 758 pages. Prompt number 2, how thick are your books? I measured a few of them. They're mostly the same. So the average is 1.5 inches, of course, with the exception of Ghosts. Prompt number 3, do you think you can read them all? I'll be able to read the majority of them. 2 in particular, I know I won't be reading over the course of the year from front to back. Ghosts, I'm looking at starting a series of ghost story videos on my channel, so I'll be working through that slowly, but I should be able to make a dent since it's just January. Study Bible, I know will not be finished this year because there are readings and things to do each day. So unless I spend more than the 10 minutes that's set up to do the study, it's going to take me at least 2 years to finish that book because that's part of a project. Drawing Down the Moon, I will definitely be finishing this year because, like I say, that's part of a big project I have going on, looking into pagan spirituality and pagan faiths. So that, like I said, is a big resource. Fingerprints and Magicians, I'll definitely be able to read and complete because I don't find Hancock's books take me all that long. I'll be making some notes as I'm doing it, so that may be a little bit of a slowdown, but they'll definitely be done before January 2026. Gods of the New Millennium, The Shattering Truth of Human Origins, is a reread. I'd read this probably around the same time I'd read Fingerprints of the Gods and Holy Blood, Holy Grail, and a number of others. I was kind of getting all into that spiral at the time. This one I know I want to do notes chapter by chapter, and I want to come up with a journal and way to record them, so that one may wait, but the plan definitely is to finish it this year. The Book of Signs could be a maybe. Originally, I started reading The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. My plan was to finish reading The God Delusion first and then read The Book of Signs. But I have to be honest, I'm really not enjoying reading Dawkins. I don't know if it's his writing style. It isn't the material. It's the way the material is presented. I'm just finding it really difficult to keep going with it. So I may hop ahead to read the Book of Signs first and then backtrack to The God Delusion. I'll have to see how I feel and how the rest of my reading is going this year. Wheel of Time, definitely, because I'm doing this as a group read. I have my next 2 books upstairs ready to go, and I have all my other books downstairs, which I'll be moving up shortly. So this year, the way we have it planned out with Ven and I from Ven's Corner, We're doing one book a month, with the exception of book 2, because February is a short month, so we're going to stretch that over 2 months, and then on to one book a month, and reassess depending on how life and everyone's doing with the reads. Dune, I definitely want to finish this year. It has been patiently waiting for 2 years. This again is a reread for me, but I read it way back, I think when I was a teen or in my early 20s. It's been quite a while, and I very much want to read it again. So I definitely have a plan, and we'll see if that plan works out. The Da Vinci Code, absolutely, because that's part of the spiral, and I need to start from there. Yes, Noah, that probably is one of the books that will be appearing in the Book Murder Part 2, because I have an illustrated copy of the Da Vinci Code, so I can have fun with that copy. Yes, I do think I will be reading the vast majority of those books. Like I say, there are 2 exceptions because they're based on studies and will spread over time. Prompt number 4, how many pages are there? I did mention the page numbers as I went through prompt number 1, and the total is 6,807 pages. Now that's just those 10 books. I certainly have a number of others that are planned. The Wheel of Time will definitely be bumping that number up, because there are 11 books that we'll be potentially reading by December 2025, and the books pretty much average 600 to 900 pages each. So I definitely have a lot of pages I will be reading this year. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books that I've mentioned this year. Do you have some big chunkers planned for the year? And if you haven't done this tag already, please feel free to do so. And until next time, remember, it may be a chunker and look a bit scary and intimidating, but there's generally some amazing information that you can find in them. Whether you're reading nonfiction or fiction, they're definitely worth the time and effort if you find a good one. Take good care.